Hello world, I'm Mokari, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to introduce you to one of the main artistic projects I've been dedicating to for a few months now. Last November I tried to make a painting for an international art competition, just for fun to prove myself. I was not fast enough, as I was unable to complete the project in time. However, I continued to develop and take care of it, making it a purely personal project. The only thing I really wanted was to try my hand at a large canvas. It was a real challenge, precisely because I had never painted on two big canvases. I tried to manage the space as much as possible. The walls of my future home will surely have to keep an eye on me. To be honest, I have always painted as a self-thought, and only since 2019 my passion has evolved. Like a little silicone ready to evolve into beautifly, but that's another story. The theme of the competition was the ideal world after the pandemic, certainly referring to COVID-19. Starting with the title, I was inspired by the word ether. The Latin root is ether, which means the upper pure bright air. It was originally a scientific term for what 19th century physicists called the fifth element, a substance that was said to fill space and make up all bodies. In modern times, ether has come to be a literary term that refers to the sky. So, among the various definitions in the chemical literal field, the word ether indicates the rarefied element that was once believed to fill the upper regions of space. I like to consider this word as a synonym for heaven. I could also call it in a certain sense paradise, the Garden of Eden, lost paradise. We could make the loss of our paradise coincide with the advancement of progress, civilization, but this is not quite the case. Breaking the ether alludes to the fact that the ether moves, it is in motion, it breaks up space. Many various artists of the 20th century created masterpieces that are the basis of contemporary art. Among these, Matisse was part of the fourth movement, born in Paris in the Salon d'Automne in 1905, painted The Joy of Life, from which he took up the theme of dance for his famous namesake painting. Again, Kirchner, of the avant-garde group Die Bruch, an expressionist movement that takes up the figure of the bridge built towards the future. The latter artist passes from painting like Potsdamer Platz to a world like the Bathers on the beach, where the dilemma of the artist of the time is best expressed, the impossible reunion with nature, with the Garden of Eden we fled from. Breaking the ether tries to reach that lost paradise. Leaving reality aside for a moment and focusing on what I really wanted for the post-pandemic future, I have finally found a satisfying path. Art is part of my way of expressing myself, but it is also a bridge to join the cascade of my soul, of my inner secret world. And in this inner world of mine, there are no people. Don't get me wrong, I'm trying to learn my drawing skills, especially in anatomical drawing. But during the quarantine, I let the light filter into the deepest darkness in which I was immersed, in search of the truth. I found that I like my people, not all of them, so I opted for a representation of a landscape without human beings. And that's why I decided to paint a pure landscape without human beings. That would contaminate the perfect harmony that can only be reached with contemplation, with no superficial distractions. In the first preparatory drawings, I imagined the scene in the distance, the dawn of the new day, the scent of the ears of corn and some poppies. Don't ask me why I drew 3 dolphin spirits in the sky. I probably thought the air was as fluid as water. Furthermore, dolphins are extremely cute mammals. Do you agree with me? In spirituality, the dolphin embodies purity, innocence, and natural goodness. It's the quintessential symbol of spiritual evolution, as every form of meditation begins with breath control. This allows us to reach those dimensions that we do not perceive because we are blinded by the hectic life and the thousand thoughts that crowd our mind every day. The dolphin, therefore, represents the symbol of the breath. That's the link between matter and spirit. Thus, it refers to the life cycle of death and rebirth. I chose the poppy because it represents the flower of the dream dimension. I would have liked to add azalea as well, but as suggested by my grandmother, who knows plants, the two flowers cannot exist in the same biome. Although I was painting in an abstract fantasy style, I prefer not to contradict my grandma. She is not only my grandmother, she is my sensei. I like the contrasts between the orange rays of the sun and the sky with 1,000 shades of blue. The atmosphere had to be translucent, dreamy, slightly melancholy. In the original idea on the right side of the canvas, a geometric city was to rise, inspired by the shapes of the father of abstract art, Kandinsky. Unfortunately, I quickly changed my mind. I decided to let 5 futuristic style swallows fly, which were inspired by the Italian master Giorgio Michetti, who died in June 2019. The inspiration came from his painting Spring. That's the first piece of the quadrilogy The Four Seasons. From the bottom of my heart, I would have liked so much to know the master. He was an artist from Viareggio, therefore from my land, my beloved Tuscany. Rest in peace, dear Giorgio. I'm sure you would make angels dream with your majestic art. I will take advantage of the situation to dedicate a poem in Italian I wrote to this unforgettable master, whom I feel I have met through his videos on YouTube and his gentle way of applying color to surfaces, breaking the ether, spezzando l'etere. Fragile il mondo, la brezza accarezza, mi distendo mentre invento una nuova bellezza. Rinfresco l'anima osservando una piuma di rondine, esse volteggiano tutte insieme. Sono un tutt'uno come l'etere, che spezza lo spazio, unisce l'azzurro con il verde dei prati, rischiara il cielo, gonfia la risacca, ogni vacuità scaccia. 5 marzo 2021. Prato, camera mia, è venerdì e si sta bene. Magari adesso torno a parlare in inglese, se no qui. Okay, let's switch to the English language. Cup of tea. Yeah. The swallows were the most dramatic and difficult part for me to do, but I enjoyed it very much. Through their art, the soul of the masters of the past breathes into eternity. But you know, it's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. Okay, that's not so bad, but leaving aside the fantastic CDC for a moment, in my opinion, the view is worth the climb. I like the concept of a multi-perspectives of art, a fusion of various arts with each other. Therefore, I decided to open this YouTube channel and to approach art considering every possible form of it. My poems, quotes from deserving artists, in my humble opinion, different genres of background music, everything connects to create a complete story involving the 5 senses. This led me to create my brilliant alter ego Mokari, giving life to the world of Mokari, her projects of a multi-perspective vision of art. However, I will continue to sign my paintings and all my art, including the poems and songs I wrote and composed, with the name Mary. My friend know me like that. Mokari is the mind, but it is always Mary who carries out the artistic projects. To conclude, what I really hope for this fragile historical moment is that we can soon return to hugging, kissing, smiling in a more natural, less rigid world. I would like to see the poppies undulate in the breezes of the spring. I would like to see the swallows bring the new season. I would like to see dolphins jump at midsummer dawn. But most of all, I would like to be able to shake people's souls, because breaking the other, it teaches us that we can be the best people and live in the best world. Don't forget to let me know what you think about my videos. If you don't like what I do, know that even a beauty fly can hurt. Don't worry, I'm just joking. Not at all. See you in the next video. With love, Mokari.